What's up, curious youngsters? If we're always wasting time doing useless things or watching millions of videos, ending up with those weird YouTube recommendations, why not spend a few minutes on Mr. Curiosity learning instead? 30 totally epic facts that you'll forget in about 10 minutes. But these aren't just any facts, they're going to leave you completely amazed. For this and much more, these are 30 things you didn't know 5 minutes ago. 1. Although this building is known as Big Ben, actually, Big Ben is the name of the great bell of the clock that is in the tower of this building, which is known as the Palace of Westminster and is the seat of the Parliament of the United Kingdom, too. As we know, if we travel to the other side of the world, we will find some pretty interesting societies. And for example, in Thailand, we find that every year a festival known as the Monkey Buffet is organized, where, as its name suggests, the Thai people offer food and drinks to the local monkey population, which is more than 2,000. Are you hungry, little monkey 3? The advanced Aztecs used cacao beans for a long time, you know? Yes, the ones we use to make chocolate. As if they were currency, since besides trading with it, they used cocoa butter to protect themselves from the sun. This plant also held great religious significance for them. 4. In Incredibly True and Terribly Epic Facts, Incredibly True and Terribly Epic, we find that in the 19th century, it started to become famous in Europe. A rather strange activity where people would buy mummies and organize parties to unwrap mummies. Yes, what goes into the impacted owl? Shall we go with 5? One of the best documents in the whole world is the passport. One of the best documents in the whole world. It's the passport that allows us to travel through this amazing world without any problems. But I'm sure you'll be amazed when you find out that all Pakistani passports have an inscription. This passport is valid for all countries worldwide except Israel. That seems harsh, Mr. Pakistani. Yes, and if you like history, I'm sure you've read about the Roman Emperor Caligula, who was known for being one of the bloodiest and most intense emperors in history. Where's the interesting part? Curiosity? Well, apparently he loved his horses so much that he literally appointed his beloved horse Incitatus to have a seat in the Empire Senate. Yes. Also, he lived in a stable with 16 servants for him all day, 7 days a week. Humans have 2 choices regarding their physical abilities. People are either left-handed or right-handed, and although the reason is unknown, some turn out right-handed and others left-handed. The latter are only 13% of the world's population. Many well-known historical figures were left-handed, including Napoleon, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Einstein, and Bill Gates. Are you left or right-handed? Google runs the world now. But a few years ago, in 1996, when the creators of Google were bringing their search engine to life, actually they had named it Bagru. Yes, but luckily, a year later after a brainstorming session, they ended up changing it to Google 9. As we know, nature is simply amazing. And one of the best examples is the sea anemone, which at first glance looks like a flower. But in reality, it's a carnivorous animal that eats small fish and shrimp that wander along the ocean floor. Nemo Diaz, be cautious. Humans are making great strides in all areas of technology. And recently news came out that the United States Navy has 75 trained dolphins to detect enemy swimmers and underwater mines. 11. In incredibly real news, we found out that when Disney released the movie The Princess and the Frog in 2009, there were 50 children in the United States who had to be hospitalized with salmonella for having kissed frogs. That's why displaying "do not try this at home" is crucial. 12. After several videos, we came to the conclusion that Russians are pretty crazy. And in weird and stupid laws around the world, we found that in Russia, driving an extremely dirty car is considered an infraction, and you can get fined for it. 13. We left Earth for a few seconds. And if we look at Jupiter, we find that it's so big that all the planets in the solar system could fit inside it. Forget about visiting this planet, since its temperatures range between minus 163 and minus 75 degrees Celsius. A bit chilly, huh? Johnny 14. The Simpsons is likely the most successful animated series ever. In 1998, Time magazine named Bart Simpson one of the century's most influential people. It was odd for a magazine that previously featured real people on its cover. 15. Animals are amazing, and every time humans try to domesticate or train some of them, they can do things you wouldn't even imagine. And, for example, during World War I, carrier pigeons were a vital tool on the battlefield. One of the most heroic pigeons saved 194 soldiers by delivering a message. Even though she was missing a leg, an eye, and had been shot in the chest. Good job, Miss Pigeon 16. If you have enough money saved up and you also like cats, then consider buying an Ashera kitten, which is a cross between an Asian leopard and domestic cat breeds. At a cost of precisely $100,000, it is the world's most expensive cat. 17. This place is the closest thing to hell on Earth. An island known as Snake Island. It's an island in São Paulo, Brazil, which is known for having the highest density of venomous snakes on the planet. Imagine more than one snake per square meter. Being there would be terrifying. In this installment of our series on strange phobias, we're covering two particularly intriguing ones. Apparently, there are people who are afraid of the rain. No, I'm not referring to storms, but just rain itself as it triggers their anxiety attacks. And this strange phobia is known as ombrophobia. 19. Felines are one of the most interesting animals we can find in nature. And, for example, pumas or mountain lions have very intelligent behavior. Where they live in cold, snowy places. When they hunt prey and are not going to eat it all at once, they simply bury it in the snow so it stays preserved, and then they come back for it when they're hungry. Mr. Puma Vente, you are quite intelligent. Digital and cryptocurrencies are becoming increasingly popular these days. Although a Bitcoin is now worth nearly $7,000, it was almost worthless a few years ago. The first Bitcoin transaction was to purchase a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoins. Imagine that today that pizza would have been worth $70 million. 21. In the face of such global warming and bad news about the environment, we are lucky to find that. A supermarket in Thailand changed the plastic packaging of several products for natural banana leaf packaging. Well thought out, gentlemen from Thailand. 22. We all know that eagles are among the largest birds that exist, but when we see photos of a Philippine eagle, we really get concerned. It's huge and can live up to 60 years in the wild. The concerning fact is that only 400 individuals remain in the wild because of poaching. 23. Although people hardly ever live past 100 years, other species can reach a significant age. And the oldest known creature in the world? A 507-year-old clam was accidentally killed by scientists studying it. Yeah, terrible fail. 24. A very random curiosity from history is that, although no one knows why, in many medieval manuscripts and drawings that have been found, there are knights fighting against giant snails. Yeah, no joke. The worst part is that nobody knows why. 25. If you're pretty active on social media or gamer streams, I'm sure you know about the well-known F in the chat. The F's meaning originates from a meme in the Call of Duty games. It references a character's death at one point in the series. During the funeral, it prompts pressing the F key to pay respects, marking you as a true professional gamer. 26. Moby Dick is a very well-known book and considered a classic of literature in case you haven't read it. Curiously, Herman Melville only sold 3,000 copies of the book during his entire life before his death, which was considered a complete failure, but it seems that later on it had a stroke of success. 27. In the movie It 2, the director told Bill that he was planning to use special effects to move Pennywise the clown's eyes. However, the actor told him not to do it, as he could do it himself. That's how he saved the production some money. You really are scary, Bill. There are many car brands, but when it comes to luxury or sports cars, many people think of BMW. But did you know that the logo has a big meaning behind it, and it's not just a circle with a cross? Apparently, the BMW logo represents a propeller in motion against a blue sky, since in its origins it was dedicated to producing airplane engines. While Finland is known as the happiest country globally, it is also recognized for its unique customs. And among them is the national event called the Mobile Phone Throwing World Championship, in which people simply go to compete to see who can throw a cell phone the farthest. And the record is held by a German who surpassed 136 meters of distance. At any breakfast, toast with butter, or mantequillo as they call it, is a must-have. But did you know that to make just 1 kilo of butter, you need 25 liters of milk? Before I go, let me say hello to some subscribers. First of all, a big welcome to Joaquin H.M., who is new to the channel. Next, another big shout out to Valerie Rodriguez Bravo, whom I hadn't greeted before. I also send a big greeting to Maricusa, who has been waiting for their greeting for a few videos. Shout outs to Moises Canales, who wanted a greeting, and the Freddy, who had been waiting a while. The greeting from Mr. Curiosity. Also, a big shout out to OnePool99 and a big greeting to all of Ecuador. Another greeting for Jose Tavares, whom I also couldn't greet in the previous video. Finally, I'm greeting Uriel Santiago, who wanted a shout out, and another big greeting to Alberto TRJDB. And the last greeting goes to the awesome John Lopez, who had also been waiting quite a while for his shout out. I hope you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts and the video with others to grow this curious community. Don't forget to share the channel too. Subscribe and click the bell to stay updated on new videos. I'm a